Hey guys, welcome. I'm Catherine and this is Little Bits of Heaven Homestead. Well, if you're lucky, you're going to hear my peas here in just a second. I started talking and they started calling. But today I wanted to show you some efforts that we have taken to contain that goat right there. Let's see. Her, the black and white one, the innocent looking one right there. Don't let that face fool you. She is living up to her name, which is Pita, pain in the ass. Hey Jim, welcome. So she has fully embraced not only her name, but the lifestyle. I have taken note and I am going to stop naming my animals after behavioral characteristics that they actually display. And I'm going to start naming them after characteristics that I want them to display. So I should have actually named her Sweet Baby Angel or something like that. Maybe she would be less of an escape artist. There is a saying that if it can't, hey life in the UP, welcome! So there's a saying that if you can't contain water, it's not going to contain goats. And up until this point, guys, I've had beautiful, wonderful goats. They are so calm, they never test my fences. I am fully aware that the fencing system that we have up is not goat proof. So Nick says, good plan. As, oh, she is definitely testing me. She is teaching me perseverance. She is teaching me patience. She is showing me what all the hoopla about feisty goats is all about, because my other ones are just, they're such angels. And then Pita here, she can get out of anything. So yeah, Jim says I can see and hear. Good, I'm glad to hear that, because I sometimes wonder if I'm coming through loud and clear. So Pita, what we have done, and I'm not sure if this is going to show up on camera well, but we used to have, this is about a 4-foot gate, and I'm sure you can see there's steel here on the side. That steel didn't used to be there. It was just fencing, and Pita taught not only herself but all my other baby goats that they could bend that fencing and walk right through. So my husband attached this steel to it thinking that that solid surface would be enough to keep them out. No, that was a lie, that was a trick. So what I had to do was I went to the hardware store, and I don't know if you guys can see, but I bought a chain and I put some carabiner clips on there, and I've got it clipped down below, and now there is a secondary chain that's about middle point. So one wraps around the back side, one is on the front side. If we just put one chain, Pita can get out. Hey Beaver Creek Farms, welcome! So then this is going to be the hard part to see, and let's see if I can turn this. Yeah, you can't see it. So we've got 4-foot field fencing, and I'm going to try and walk and see if we can get a little closer and if it will pop up. So what we did is we attached fencing all the way up. Look at that. So there is now 9 foot of fencing to keep Pita contained, and it goes from one length of our garden, so way over there, to the other corner of this garden over here. So all 9-foot fencing. Do you think that keeps her in? No. Pita has figured out other ways to get around. Look at her looking all innocent right here. Don't let her fool you. She is a pain in the butt. So what she wants, she doesn't want to escape. She's really happy here. She loves being part of the herd. So what she wants is into, and let's see if I can turn. So this is our rabbit yard. This is where I feed my chickens. So it used to be that I had feed bowls right back here. That was way too tempting for Pita and the babies. So the babies didn't care about the feed up until Pita showed up on scene. And then Pita taught them all sorts of bad habits. So I had to move the feed. So let's see if I can walk and show you what we've done now. So 9-foot fences doesn't slow her down. Steel on the gate doesn't slow her down. What she has taken to doing now, because she is super smart and super feisty, is, let's see in the background, way over there is where I keep our bales of Bermuda hay in an old cast iron wash tub. So is Pita Alpine. I think she's part Nubian. I'm not exactly positive, because she was recently given, well, quote unquote, given to us. She was an escapee. She was wandering the neighborhood. I was tagged in all sorts of local posts about her. The people who found her couldn't keep her contained. Big shock, since she is apparently an escape artist to the max. And so they brought her over here and gave her to me. So Dolly Perry says maybe hobbles would slow her down. Possible. So I don't know. This goat is just, she's something else. So she's jumping over the fence here, and she walks all the way around and then comes through the front of our chicken yard because it's still the 4-foot fencing. So she is just bound and determined. Part of what she was doing was knocking over our feed cans. So this is where we keep our chicken food and our rabbit food. They used to be in different places in the yard. My husband built this cage around them. So you see that cage? Terry says our Alpine mix love to jump high. So I don't know what she is, but she's got springs in her feet. So I moved our duck water over here because ducks, how they eat, well, they eat and drink pretty much simultaneously. So they run back and forth between the water and the food bowls. So since I moved the food bowls to, wrong direction, right here, I just stacked them because as I walked out here to film this, guess what I found? Pita in here eating chicken food. So little turkey, well, she's not a turkey, she's a pain in the butt. So we also have these tires to put on top of the feed cans, thinking that if she is persistent enough to continue to push on this, that hopefully the feed cans will stay secure, because there for a little while she was coming out here and eating like a full 50-pound bag of chicken food before I would find out. And she was really tricky too, because I'd walk out and see like mass destruction, but I couldn't figure out what was going on because she was laying back in the goat yard looking all innocent like she had done nothing. And so I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I've got something, who knows what, breaking into our rabbit yard at night. She would open the feed cans and pull out the feed sacks. I was kind of wondering if it might be a bear. Nope, Pita. So bungee cords would help keep those tires on the cans. That's a good idea. So far, because of this, I don't even know what you would call it, cage around these things, she's been unable to get into the can. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this is enough to slow her down. So we were told that she was possibly bred when we got her. So to back up to the story, so the people who found her in our neighborhood ended up contacting me asking if we would take her because they could not keep her contained. And then her original owner, hey Bria, love you, that's my daughter. So the people who originally were her owners ended up finding this local post about a week later. The lady who gave us Pita gave him our information. He kind of wanted her back, but upon discussion with him, I found out that she was an only goat. It was her and a dog. And I know I've told you guys stories that she's very friendly with dogs. She saw a coyote the other day, thought it was a friend coming to visit her. I saw her run to the fence line and she's sitting there touching this coyote nose to nose because she's crazy. But she also sees neighbors walking down the road with their dogs and she jumps and tries to follow them. Although she always comes back because she doesn't want to leave us. She gets overly excited. So her original owner was excited that she's here with a herd. I don't know if you can see any of my goats. I've got a grip of them. But so he was glad to see that she had a herd, that she was really happy. So we negotiated. I felt bad sending her home to an only goat situation, so I offered $40 for her. I believe that I was the sucker. I'm pretty sure that he laughed all the way home as he took his $40. So Tyler says maybe Pita needs cement over hooves. That would be brilliant. So I don't know, this goat, I'm hoping that she's bred, and I'm hoping that she gets kind of chubby and stops jumping the fence here soon because she is persistent. So goats keep you laughing, otherwise you will cry, Terry says. Oh my goodness, that is the truth. So I've been spoiled for 3 years with great goats that have never tested my patience, that have never even attempted to escape. And then here she's teaching me all about how goats can be feisty and naughty. So I do try to keep our fencing open so that our birds can have free flow of the property. That was important. Oh, that was something I forgot to show you. On our 9-foot fencing, because the Pita has become a terrible influence on our other, so Tyler says you bought your own poison. Yes, isn't that ironic? So brought her home because I felt, you know, in my heart that she needed this happy place, and joke's on me. So Dolly Perry says my dad only swore over 2 things, plumbing and a scapegoat. That's hilarious. My goodness, isn't it true? So yeah, I walk out and encounter her, and sometimes the stuff falling out of my mouth is not very pleasant. So Nick says, sounds like she has ADD, give her some Adderall. Hilarious. Hey James, Backyard Self-Reliance, welcome. On the fencing, the 9-foot fencing, we did have to put a strip about midway to keep the goat kids in, because terrible influence Pita has taught them that they can walk right through the fence. I knew that prior to Pita's influence here, but they never attempted it. But with Pita and her, I don't even know, her bad influence, she's teaching them all sorts of bad habits. So I'm trying to balance keeping our chickens and our ducks having the ability to free flow and keeping our goats contained, which has been an adventure. So I have said all along on our homesteading journey is that you have to be open to evolution and change. That you think you got things all figured out, and all it takes is one feisty animal to teach you that your entire system that has worked really well for years actually doesn't work at all. And so you have to really be open to being analytical, to taking a look at things, to reassessing your system. So this is something Pita, although she has been a pain, I appreciate the challenge. I appreciate her keeping me fresh, to look outside the box and try and come up with new solutions. So Pita may need a roof on her pen. They actually have all sorts of housing back there with roofs, but we've got about, I'd say about 3/4 of an acre fenced in for them that they kind of roam around. We're on 20 acres total. I would love to have electronetting that I move around and keep them grazing in the yard, but I don't think there is any way to secure all of that inexpensively. So although she's probably pushing us to figuring it out. So all right, guys, well, I just wanted to share my wacky words of wisdom, show you my pain in the rear goat, show you some of the attempts that we've taken to try and keep her secure, which although they are not working, it has definitely slowed her down some. I was hoping keeping the feed stuff out of Pita's sight would be out of Pita's mind, but she's very hard-headed, so she's going to keep me challenged, and I will keep sharing what we do to try and combat her challenges. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight, and hope you enjoyed the quick look around my crazy farm. So we shall talk to you soon. Hope you have a great evening. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't already, please click subscribe and that little notification bell. That way you can be notified when I do go live, because I love it when you guys join me. Feel free to ask any questions and I'll try and come back. I do try and come back and have answers. Lana made it, yay! So if you guys have any questions about things that we do here and why, please feel free to ask. So that's all I've got for you today. So if you could like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, I would appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.